What's up, everybody? My name is Matt and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys 3 more Solana NFTs I think you guys are going to want to look at. Now, you guys have been loving these videos recently, so I want to keep pumping them out. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you guys a very small project, a medium project, and a larger project. Ideally, you guys want to build your portfolio with an even spread in hopes you could reap the most amount of rewards with the least risk possible. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Now, as always, folks, if a particular project is sponsoring or paying for the video, I'll let you guys know. In this particular video, none of the 3 projects are paying for promotion. That being said, guys, let's get right into it. So the first project here is going to be more along the medium tier, and this is actually called Bitmon Adventures. Now, I talked about these guys in a previous video, but here is what they are looking like post-mint. Now, as you guys can see, there are only 800 here listed on Magic Eden, which isn't all that bad, with a floor price of 1.27. This is ultimately still above mint, and that's always a good thing. Now, when we take a look at their Twitter, you guys can see it is essentially Pokemon on Solana, which I think is very cool. It does seem as if they spent a good deal of time on their lore, on their aesthetics. It looks as if this project was actually well thought out, and ultimately, that is kind of what matters to me. Now, with something like this, I don't own one of these right now, but this is definitely something I may pick up on a dip in the future, but ultimately, I could see in 6 months from now these guys being worth more than they are worth today, and ultimately that's what matters to me. So with something like this, it's a little bit more of a medium tier project. It is already established. Is it going to 50x? Probably not, but could it very easily hit a price of 5 Solana within the next 3 to 6 months? Very possible. I do think that's very likely, especially if their game continues to perform well, and ultimately this seems to be doing Pokemon the best I've seen on the metaverse, and ultimately that's kind of what matters to me. Now, before any further, guys, if you are enjoying the video, make sure to check out my Patreon down below in the description so you guys can see exactly what NFTs I am buying and when I am buying them. I put you guys onto a ton of awesome stuff down there, which, as you guys can see on the screen, a lot of people have been thankful for. I have access to exclusive chats in my Discord, tons of behind the scenes stuff, my exclusive NFT watch list, and so much more over there. To be honest with you guys, I think it's a steal for only $10 a month. All right, now the next project I'm looking at here, guys, is literally insane. Now, there's occasionally a time where you'll check Magic Eden and for some reason something sticks out at you. Now, what is this? This is the Cool Frogs NFT project. Now, I just want to say, I am not vouching for the quality of this project. I have no idea whether or not this is a good project. People were saying the art isn't all that original, and obviously their Twitter presence is basically non-existent. But here's what I do like about this project. There are 111 of them. That's right, 111 of these guys. So when you take a look on Magic Eden, they have a floor price of 0.42. I bought these earlier around a price of 0.15, and this was actually based on the suggestion that a lot of my Patreon subscribers made on my live stream. But ultimately, when you look at something like this, what you're really paying for is essentially like your own NFT. I mean, literally, when you look at something like this with only 111, in theory, if someone watching this wanted to go and buy the entire floor, or virtually the entire floor, they could do that without spending a whole lot of money. And again, ultimately, there are 37 of these guys listed and only 111 in existence. Now, this is not financial advice. This is not a recommendation. But ultimately, when you look at projects like this, if you're really trying to hit something like a 10x, you want to either find a project like this or something very similar that has an extremely low supply in a way that you can make a meaningful difference in this community. Now, based on a lot of community involvement, and this was something I actually put you guys on for those that are on my Patreon as well. If you guys take a look at one of these turtle projects, the Pocket Turtles, originally at the time when we first found this project, it was worth like 0.15, 0.2 Solana. Now they're going for 1.3, 1.4, all because like a handful of people went into their Discord for my last video and decided to grow the community. So my goal is, again, to teach you guys what I look for when I see a project like this, because ultimately, when you look at something like these frogs, it doesn't matter if it's the worst project in the world. With a supply of only 111, you can make a meaningful difference in a community like this. And that's what I do like about Magic Eden. There are tons of projects out there that you could go and look at, and if you're good at social media, you're active, you essentially can show the rest of the world that you are interested in this art or whatever it is. And ideally, something like this with the right level of community push could easily rocket in terms of floor price. Looking for projects like this, even if it's not this one, looking for projects like this, I think ultimately are probably the best thing you could do if you're trying to put in a little amount of money, extremely low risk, and potentially reap the rewards. Because again, with something like this, you're not spending a lot, and ultimately you can make a meaningful difference because the supply is so insanely low. So when you think about it, it's essentially your own NFT. You're paying to basically be put on Magic Eden. I mean, that's really how easy it is. If you could find a project like this and assist in marketing it, you could very well make some money for yourself. And ultimately, it is a very normal thing to do. I've seen done before because it's just like an art collection. You're promoting an art collection and you're getting that art collection to be known by more people. So something like this, again, the lowest supply I've basically ever seen on a project like this that I think makes it worth it. Now, working in the opposite direction, here is a very large scale project. I know a lot of people like to see these large projects as well. This is something called Seoul Stars, which is based out of South Korea, I would imagine. But I have no idea, to be honest with you, what this really is. I have no idea who these girls are that are on the advertising here, but ultimately South Korean K-pop is like a huge market online, and it seems as if these guys have a lot of attention. They have a listing here on FTX, which is obviously humongous, and again, it seems like they're getting a lot of attention. You know, I know the K-pop scene is very big in South Korea, and it looks like with 27,000 followers, a lot of big people I follow on Twitter are also following them. It seems like a no-brainer to take a look at something like this, because ultimately the size of a project can be kind of meaningful. And again, they are in the metaverse, some kind of K-pop concert. You know, this is a very big industry. I don't know much about an industry like this, but, you know, it would seem that the website is well done. They have a game out there, a bunch of music-related collaborations, and it looks huge to me. So this is something I definitely will be trying to mint when it does release. It does release in around a day. It's me minting, as you guys can see here on screen. It is going to be minting for 2.5 Solana. That's very expensive, and I definitely would say that this will probably go up after the mint. So that is that. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope I put you guys on to a small, medium, and large level project in this video. Again, when we look at projects like this, we have to keep a lot of things in mind, but ultimately, we want to try to find stuff that we can put a little bit into and potentially reap some massive rewards. Now, again, with those small projects like I showed you guys with the turtles and the frogs and all that, ultimately, you want to look at something like that and say, man, you know what? Am I putting in a reasonable amount of money that won't kill me in the long run, and can I make a real meaningful difference in this project's community? And that has been a Solana, even Ethereum, but Solana's a little easier because of the low fees. That has been a specifically Solana-based strategy I've seen recently that I find to be very effective. And again, with those medium projects, obviously, those are more long-term holds. Those medium guys, you know, again, metaverse kind of games like that Pokemon-style game, something like that, you want to hold that more for the long run, more for the 3 to 6 month kind of time. And then you look at something big like the K-pop project I showed you, something like that I could see rocketing after mint. So those are kind of the different protocols I would put in place when trying to make money on NFTs like this. With that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Again, drop a like, subscribe if you guys enjoyed. Check out the Patreon down below in the description so you guys can see exactly what I am planning on buying, and of course, have access to my exclusive NFT watch list. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. My name is Matt. See you all on the next one. Peace.